everyone, it is your audio angel here. Today we are going to be doing a bit of a Q&A. I made a post asking if you would ask questions to the characters and we would answer them. So, without further ado, the first character we're going to start with is Twig. So, Twig, come on up. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see what questions people have asked me. Awesome. Well, let's get started then. So, Twig, how many songs have you learned or collected, and do you have a favorite that you like to play? Oh, too many to count. I really love learning new songs. If I had to pick a favorite, though, it would probably either be Rainbow Connection or The Secret of Happiness Reprise. They have really good, positive, and uplifting messages. All right, this next question. You are so kind and caring, it's hard to imagine anyone not liking you the instant they meet you. Aw. But have you ever disliked or had a grudge against anyone before? And if so, for what reason? Actually, yeah. I do try to give everyone I meet the benefit of the doubt, just because I feel that most people are genuinely good on the inside. But there was this one king that we met, and one of the people in my group was scared of him, saying that they wanted to kill them. So I was already a little bit on edge about them, but then they showed us their trophy room, and they kept parts of different exotic beasts and put them on display, like unicorn horns or the head of an owlbear, and they displayed them shamelessly. So I didn't really like them after that. All right, is there anywhere you've ever considered really settling down at? Oh, I would love to settle down someday. It doesn't really matter where, it matters who I'm with. If I do settle down, I wouldn't want to do it alone. I'd want to do it with people I care about and who care about me. What has been your favorite moment with your present group so far? Oh, I really liked spending New Year's with everybody. Getting to just hang out and talk is some of my favorite moments. I love just being around them. What did you ever do with that little pumpkin that you picked up at the festival? Oh, I'm glad you asked. So since it had a little wart on it, I drew a little witch's face on it, and the wart was on its nose. And then Daisy Bell sewed it a little witch's hat. And I kept it on my windowsill for the longest time. It was so cute. But sadly, it started to rot, so I put it in the compost pile. Maybe it will bring more nutrients to new plants. Since trees can talk in Primordial, do they have personalities? Oh, most definitely. Although their words are limited in Primordial since they can only make tree sounds. Primordial is a mix of all the sounds you find in nature. But I do have a spell that lets me speak with plants, and it's such a wonderful trick. I love to do it. This one time I had a whole forest of trees singing harmonies to a song with me. It was lovely. Plants really are very pleasant to talk to. Well, most of them are. All right, what is your favorite type of sweet food or dessert? Or if you don't like sweets or desserts, what's your favorite food? Well, my favorite food is mashed beans on bread, but I've mentioned that before. As for sweets, I really love them all. But I will say I'm quite partial to sweets that have nuts and caramel in them. How have you felt traveling recently? Is it more peaceful? Oh, I love traveling with this group. Everyone's just so nice and kind, and everyone does their part. I'm really, really lucky to be with them. Have you ever considered getting a different instrument? Oh, actually, I can play 3 kinds of instruments. I play the lute, which is what I normally pick to play. I can play the pan flute, which is quite fun. And I also know how to play the drums. Although, I would be very interested in learning how to play the kazoo or the harmonica. All right. Well, that's all the questions we have for you today, Twig. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for having me. Of course. All right, Paige, you're up. Very well. Let's get this over with. What gets you hooked on a book, being fiction or otherwise? And have you written anything yourself? Oh, heavens no. I couldn't actually write anything myself. I have dabbled in poetry, but never wrote anything worth mentioning. As for what gets me hooked on a book, well, don't judge me for this, but it's the character dynamics. I'm interested in watching how people react and interact with one another. Since I have a hard time reading people, it helps fill the gap. All right. Easier question. What is your tea preference? What kind of leaves and additives are your favorite? Ooh, well, when it comes to teas, I have lots of favorites, but I'm quite fond of a lavender blend. I'd say the perfect cup of tea is lavender with chamomile, a splash of milk, a spoonful of honey, and a lump of sugar. Mix it all up and you've got yourself a nice cup of heaven. Have you ever thought about using your knowledge of magic and experience brewing teas to open up your own herbal-based alchemy shop? Yes, I have, actually. I've thought about it a lot. But I fear if I try to run a tea shop right now, it'll bring back too many memories that are too painful to think about currently. That and I'd have to interact with people and actually help them, so I'd prefer to wait on it. Although if I found some help with someone who's good with other people and doesn't require my assistance, I wouldn't be opposed to opening it sooner. What do you imagine adventuring would be like if you were to do it? And would you be willing to give it a try if the viewer went adventuring with you? Oh, well, I'm not really interested in adventuring personally. I've done a few odd jobs here and there, but have never really considered myself an adventurer. But if I did, it would help get my mother off my back, which I wouldn't be opposed to. As for if you were there or not, I suppose having someone with experience would be beneficial, so yes, I wouldn't mind the company. What is your favorite school of magic? Oh, well, I find all of them quite fascinating, but if I had to just pick one, I'd have a hard time picking between evocation and transmutation. Both are equally fascinating to me. Has your smarts ever come in handy during your adventures before? Please, smarts helps everyone immensely. I feel that every group should have at least one person that knows what they're doing. Personally, I think my smarts has helped my group quite often. I often feel like I'm the only one who knows what's going on. It seems I'm the only note-taker in my group, so I have that going for me. All right. This question's a doozy. Have you ever tasted coffee? First of all, how dare you? Second of all, yes, I have sadly tried coffee, and from my experience, it's a disappointing cup of hot bean juice that gets people riled up for no reason until a few hours later when they come down from their caffeine crash. That, with the addition of having unpleasant bowel movements, has been a cup of disaster to me. Coffee is a sin on all things good and holy. Tea would never give you such reactions. That is all I have to say on the matter. All right, a little bit easier. What's your favorite book saga? And how do you feel about having a close friend? Choosing a favorite book saga is like asking me to describe breathing. It is impossible for me to choose, and I will not humor you in doing so. As for having a close friend, it's different, unusual, but not unpleasant. It's nice. Are we done here? Yeah, that was your last question. Wonderful. Then I will bid you adieu. All right, Daisy Belle, it is your turn. Come on up, sweetheart. Oh, I'm so excited to be answering some questions. Well, then let's get to it. So, we all know how hard you work, but what do you like to do in your free time? Is there something that you're passionate about? Well, it might not be something that's really big, but I do love dabbling in sewing. Things like making small dolls or working on skirts or dresses, sewing on buttons. I love it all. It's quite relaxing. When serving the master of the house, what does a typical day schedule look like for you? Oh, well, it really just depends on the day, whether or not the boss is working or not. But a typical day starts with me opening up the curtains of the house and letting in some fresh air. Then I make the master breakfast and either deliver it to their room or the study. And then I list the days of activities to them. And then I go about tidying up, things like cleaning or folding laundry or organizing things. Then I make lunch and deliver it to the master. And then I either escort the master to their meetings or I do some leisure time. In the evening, I usually serve dinner at 6, and I close all the curtains of the house and the master begins their leisure time. Sometimes we get to hang out, and it's pleasant to have their company. And other times they just wish to be left alone to their own devices. Either way, that's normally where we end the day. What do you like to do in your free time when you're not cleaning or serving your master? Oh, well, like I said, I love to sew. I actually have a couple of sewing projects I've been working on recently. Besides that, I love to try new recipes, although I cannot taste them. It's fun to at least try to cook them and see if they even look right. When I'm not doing that, I like to try fixing things. Anything I can put my hands to. If there's something that's not working right around the house, I like to fix it as soon as possible. So, yeah. How do your adventures with your group go with your boss's timetable? Do they need you to go on these adventures, or is it just something you do in your off time? Well, even though we are a group, we stay near the same town. We don't go very far. And we mostly hang out rather than going on these big, elaborate adventures. So, when the schedule allows it, the master doesn't mind me hanging out with the group. I normally do it on my off days or if they are not busy. Is it possible for you to eat? If so, do you have a favorite food? If not, then what do you like to cook the most? It is possible for me to eat, yes. I have an artificial digestive system that works really good. But sadly, I cannot taste food. Most of the foods I do like have to do with the actual texture instead of the taste. That being said, I really like spaghetti. Are you able to do anything extraordinary like lift something extremely heavy or anything else special thanks to your mechanical origins? Or were you just built like a normal person? Oh yeah, I can lift up to 540 pounds with some effort. Though comfortably, I can only carry about 270 pounds. Along with my strength, I can also change my size. I was built in the mindset that I would eventually grow old. So originally, I was the size of a 5-year-old, but with some rewiring and working of the mechanics, I was able to speed up the process so I could be a full-grown adult. I'm actually only 3 years old since I was only made 3 years ago, but my brain functions just like any other adult. Getting to shift sizes is quite fun, and watching a 5-year-old body lift up 540 pounds is quite a sight indeed. Okay. Have you ever been troubled by being a maid? Oh no, I love to be a maid. I feel like I fit the role very well. I love to help out where I can, and I like to solve problems. I'm quite thankful to get to be a maid. Does your own maintenance require help? Not necessarily. I mean, it is definitely easier with some help, but I can manage it on my own. I've done it for so long myself for a while, it's like second nature. Although if I did have help, I'm sure it would go a lot quicker. If you could add one ability that's not offensive to your machinery, what would you like added? Well, I'd most likely pick the ability to taste things. That way I can make sure what I'm cooking is actually edible. But besides that, I think it would be really fun to be able to fly. Some sort of rockets or something would be really cool. All right, well, that's all the questions we have for you. That was wonderful. All right, next up is Phoebe. Yo. All right, for your first question, what are your go-to spells to get out of or even into trouble? All right, here you go. You ready? These are the best spells. You need Fireball, because it's Fireball. Come on. Misty Step. It's great to get into or out of a situation. And Magic Missile. It never misses. With those 3 spells, you can't fail. Honestly, if I could only have 3 spells in the whole world, those are the 3 I'd pick. All right. What is the funnest crime you've ever committed? Why, are they a cop? I don't think so. All right. Well, I don't condone this, but it was definitely the time my group broke into a noble's house while they were on vacation and threw a giant rave party. He deserved it anyway. He was superficial and super racist, but anyways, that was probably one of the most funnest parties I've ever been to. We trashed the place. Okay. What is something that you've always wanted to do? Could be a crime or it could be something legal. What is it with these people asking me all of these crime-related questions? I'm trying to turn over a new leaf here. I'm not this big bad criminal, okay? I'm not super clean with my background, but still, I'm trying, okay? Anyways, if you must know, one thing I've always wanted to do is travel to a tropical place and take a nice, relaxing vacation. One where I could just be myself without any judgment and without having to worry that someone's around the corner trying to kill me. One I can just sip a pina colada and relax and watch the waves. That's what I would love to do. Putting up with the whole human superiority thing, have you ever convinced someone with that attitude that they were wrong? Honestly, probably not. I'm not the most convincing of people, and well, my methods are not very favorable when it comes to persuasion. Oftentimes they start speaking and I black out and things get a little fiery or punchy. I don't remember most of it, but I doubt that has convinced them to think otherwise. If anything, it probably just confirms whatever stupid crap they believe. So I doubt it. But if I did, then that's great. Kudos to me. What is the strangest thing you've been summoned for? To be honest, the only time I've ever really been summoned was actually the time I was summoned to be someone's fake date. Besides that, I haven't been summoned, luckily. I mean, I'm not really the best person to ask favors from. Again, my methods are a little unorthodox. Whatever happened to the horse? Do you still take care of it? Oh my gosh, yes, the horse. His name is now Swift, and he is my baby. I don't know if you know this about me, but I really love animals. The more exotic, the more I love it. So, yeah, he's my new baby. I take care of him. If you have any other exotic animals, let me know. How do you feel about having a new partner in crime? Woof. That's a loaded question. The phrasing is a little rough for me, to be honest. I'd like to consider you more as a teammate. But yeah, it's nice. Hopefully we don't stab each other in the back. But I'm feeling pretty optimistic about it. So yeah. Okay. Do you go to taverns? If so, what is your favorite thing to do besides drink? Oh, yes. Absolutely. Taverns are the place to be. Okay, so my favorite is when the bar has live entertainment where people are singing to the top of their lungs or like dancing on the tables. That is always a riot. Also, believe it or not, I really like a good arm wrestling contest. I actually beat an orc once at an arm wrestling contest, which, kudos to me. Like, I feel that's complete bragging rights. But yeah, if you ever want to arm wrestle, just let me know. Okay, what is your tiefling bloodline? My tiefling blood comes from Asmodeus, but I also have dragon blood in me. That's why I'm a sorcerer. It's also why I'm pink. The red from the tiefling and the white from the white dragon. They mix together and make fire and ice, so it's a pretty interesting combination. I've had people say that touching me feels like an icy hot. I've never felt one myself, but I take their word for it. All right, well, that has been very informative. Thank you very much, Phoebe. Yeah, sure, no problem. Sawyer, you're up. Is this going to take long? No, you don't have that many questions. Good. All right, first one. Can you describe your style of combat? How would you approach a battle? Do you prefer ranged, melee, or a mix of both? Honestly, I am not picky when it comes to combat. Both ranged and melee have their benefits. But if I had to choose one, I guess I would choose ranged. I'd prefer not to get any scratches, and distance does have its benefits. When did you first meet Jeremy, and what was your fiercest battle? Jeremy. I first met Jeremy when I was just a little kid. I saw him when a village was being burned down. I realized he was the one that caused it. Our fiercest battle had been in a tavern. I chased him everywhere, knocking over tables and chairs, and spilt a few drinks from the patrons, if I'm being honest. I was so close to catching him, but he escaped my reach. For some reason, my teammates at the time were cackling. I wonder what they found so funny. All right, can you talk to cats? They apologize if that's an offensive question. No, it's not offensive.
I can talk to cats about as well as human can talk to monkey, which isn't really at all. I can kind of get what they're saying by their body language, but besides that, I have no idea. So, in conclusion, no, I cannot translate what Fluffy is trying to tell you.
What is the most fearsome fight you have ever been in?
It was probably the time I had to break out of an elite prison with a bunch of strangers that I had never met. And then we had to face a red dragon. That was a pretty crazy afternoon.
Okay. Have you been enjoying your time with your present group so far?
I mean, sure, they're fine. Nothing to write home about, but nothing to complain about either, so all in all, it's been decent.
Has anyone in the group tried to come up with ideas to help catch Jeremy, or are they still all yours?
Jeremy will always be mine to catch. But no, they haven't really come up with any solutions. For some reason, when I ask, Paige just rolls her eyes and Phoebe just laughs. So, I don't know what their problem is, but it's strange. No, they have not helped me.
All right, as a hunter, do you have a special tactic to get the jump on the enemy, or do you just go after it?
Stealth is definitely the best option. I do have an ability that lets me blend into my surroundings like a chameleon. If you can help it, find someone who's alone to pounce. You will have a lot better chance of either getting them to shut up quickly or kill them off quickly. However, if you are in a big group, I recommend finding a high advantage point, somewhere tall and where you can hide, to secretly shoot arrows or throw daggers at them. That way they can't see you to protect themselves and you won't get attacked back. That is my best advice.
Is traveling alone preferable over traveling with a group?
Yes and no. If you travel in packs, it's good because you have tactical advantage. People can watch while you sleep, you have more numbers, which raise your odds, and everyone brings different skills to round out the group. However, when you travel alone, you don't have to deal with talking to people or trying to solve inter-party conflicts or all the drama that you have to deal with traveling with a group. So, they both have their benefits.
So, which one do you prefer?
Yeah, for now, I like traveling with this group. They're fine.
All right, well, that's all the questions that we have for you. You can go now.
Good. I'll see you later.
All right, Barton, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So, how did you learn your trade to be a doctor? Was it a teacher or did you learn on the job?
Oh, actually, it's a family business. My family makes and sells a lot of different kinds of potions, a lot of healing stuff, and we would go from town to town to help people. But then I stumbled across this organization and I realized they needed help, so I offered to stay behind and help out. My family was super supportive of my decision. And I've been a doctor there ever since.
You're quite knowledgeable when it comes to medical stuff. What is your reason or inspiration for you to become a doctor?
Well, as I mentioned before, it runs in the family. My mom and dad were healers. But I guess they inspired me to want to help other people just like they did. I really admired their kindness and care for others. I hope to walk in their footsteps. To be able to help change someone's life or save their life is quite the opportunity.
All right, next question. What is your favorite food?
Oh, that's hard to pick. I'm not really a picky eater. I'll eat anything. But I guess if I had to pick one food that's my favorite, it would be a turkey leg. It's food with its own handle. That's genius.
How do you feel about being carried in someone's arms?
Oh, I don't mind it. I actually get picked up a lot by the soldiers in the organization, so I'm used to it. Although, I will admit, there is something comforting about being picked up by someone who's gentle. It's really nice.
Who is your favorite person in the group so far?
Oh, I don't like going around picking favorites. I don't want anybody's feelings to get hurt.
No, you have to pick.
Oh, okay, Phoebe. Well, if I had to pick somebody, I guess it would be Twig. She's always very kind to me. She speaks softly and she sings pretty. And she lets me snuggle at night when I'm scared. So, yeah, I think she's a good pick.
Why is Short Stack such a funny name?
Because it is. I mean, I'm the short one, and someone who's shorter than another person calling them short stack is funny to me. I mean, come on. It's basic humor. I'm sorry if you don't find it funny.
How do your companions treat you?
Oh, everyone in the group is super duper nice. Daisy Bell cooks all kinds of food for us. Sawyer keeps us safe from all kinds of danger. Phoebe tells a lot of really good jokes. And Paige is really smart and helps us solve some of our problems. And Twig has always been very friendly, and she sings for us. It's a great group if I do say so myself.
Have you ever got trained to fight?
Technically, no. In fact, if I was in a fight, I'd most likely be relying on my potions more than anything else. I'm more of a brain than a brawn.
What are your thoughts on shirts?
Shirts? They're okay, I guess. Why do you ask? Oh, is it because of my scarf thing? Well, even though shirts are fine, like I have nothing against shirts, my scarf does the trick just fine. It covers anything important, and it doubles as a cape, and my cape has pockets. And the pockets is where I keep all my potions, so it's really all I need. I don't really need a shirt. It's fine.
All right, well, that was the last question.
Great. This was fun. I hope we can do this again.
Me too. All right, everybody, that's all for now. Thank you so much, everybody who participated, and thank you for everyone who listened. If I didn't get to your question, I'm so sorry. Please leave it in the comment below, and I promise to get to it. But for now, that is all for this video. I'm genuinely thankful for everyone's support. Thank you so much for being patient with me and supporting me in my videos. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will see you next time.